Match of the quarter-finals. It was a fabulous 6-5 win for Aspinall against Michael van Gerwen in the end. There were some key moments in there, Laura, especially that lovely 130 out. And that's typical of Aspinall, isn't it? 97 average, grafts and grinds, and just makes it an uncomfortable place to be on stage with him.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this Premier League tournament, I was one of those people that probably had that question mark over Nathan Aspinall. I mean, he's spoken quite openly about the struggles he's had on the oche and away from the oche and how much he's been working on it. But he's still, the proof is always still in the pudding. And I've learned very quickly, you cannot write off Nathan Aspinall. Like you say, it's that fight that he's got. Yeah,
my fear for him, the only reason I didn't like the idea of him being in it was, could he complete it? That was my big fear because of the ongoing injury issues. I did fear the worst for him, and I thought he's going to be playing a lot of darts, loves to play on the Europeans, as we saw at the weekend. Is that injury going to flare back up? Touchwood so far, no issues, and he's in another semi-final, but it's going to get tougher for him. But he has fond memories of playing Humphries, because he played him at the weekend, of course, in the European Tour in Germany, and well, he had a convincing win over Humphries in the end, and of course went on to win the title. But first up, it's Littler against Cross, and yet again Littler against Bunting. He was just dynamic, averaging 109.998, 110 as near damn it, winning 6-0. Bunting again losing with another 100 average, but it was very much a scoring average, wasn't it? Because I think he only had 4 darts that are double in the entire match.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it was just one of those matches again. We spoke about it earlier. You can't help but feel for Stephen Bunting. He's finding himself in that position where, coming back every week, he's getting beaten in that opening match. Obviously, one of those players, very gracious in defeat, and you can't do much but admire Luke Littler when he plays the way he plays. But yeah, it's disappointing for Stephen Bunting. The search for that elusive first win goes on.
Yeah, it's got to come. You'd have thought the law of averages, it will come. But yeah, so it'll be Littler against Rob Cross in our first semi-final. Rob Cross, good performance. It actually went under the radar a bit. Pretty much near as damn it 101 average in what was it has to be said, a bit of a disappointing Gerwyn Price, wasn't it? I expected more of him tonight. I had it down as a close game. I couldn't really pick a winner, but a bit disappointing in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Rob Cross averaged just under 101 average, 40% on doubles. As you say, it possibly didn't look quite as convincing as that, just because I just didn't feel like Gerwyn Price was particularly at the races. He wasn't his normal pumped up and kind of vocal self. And I actually thought, after losing to Rob Cross last week and running so close, I thought this was the time to take your revenge.
Exactly, yeah, exactly that. That was the spin I was put on it. Great opportunity, but even after leg one, he sort of looked over to the players' guests table, and there was a look of resignation. So I'm not sure if he's a bit under the weather, because it was a very low key, not just performance, but he was low key in himself, and usually he's hyped. Humphries got the better of Dobey, and again, what was a bit of a disappointing game for me. It did get better in the end, but Humphries won 6-3, both players averaging 92 and 93, and then, well, we've just seen an absolute cracker between MVG and Aspinall, and in the end Aspinall averaged just over 97, so a decent enough performance. But in the early exchanges in that match, they were both in the mid to late 80s, so it was a good effort in the end.
Yeah, and I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, as these weeks progress, I mean, Luke Littler now, to me, obviously he's got that target on his back. He is the one to beat. He's won 3 of the weeks already. I mean, actually, to be fair, in terms of winners, we've only had 3 different winners, which is quite unusual since we've had that format. The accolades have been spread out slightly more, but Luke Littler now, can you see many people really kind of stopping him when he's at that level?
No, and the stats back it up. I mean, you found a fabulous series of stats that, well, they're mind-boggling. Let's put it this way. What is it? 3 averages under a ton out of 15.
No, out of 18.
Out of 18, yeah. 15
so 15 a ton plus averages in the Premier League so far this campaign. It's
that's remarkable by anybody's standard, and even when he's not averaged at 100, it's late 90s, isn't it? He's just riding this crest after, just over 12 months ago he gets beaten in the final of his debut at the Worlds, and then returns to win it. And beating MVG in the process, which is always nice. It's like when anybody ever won anything, he beat Taylor in the final. It's the icing on the cake, and he's just going from strength to strength. He's not even the finished article. he's only just 18 years of age, and he's still evolving as a player. And I personally, listen, he won't be around, you know, he won't be playing into his 40s, that's for sure. But I think we may see him at his best around, I don't know, 22, 23. I mean, that's a frightening prospect for anybody.
Well, I spoke to him after the win at Cardiff last week. You know, he said there's more. There's definitely more levels. You know, and I believe him, and that's scary.
Well, we seen enough of him down at that Super Series, didn't we? And you know, he won 2 Champions Weeks and went very close in a third. And we were seeing him do things that sort of just make you shake your head, where he's just having a bit of fun and expressing himself, and you get to see his personality. And listen, I don't believe that is the finished article. I think as he gets more mature and he understands himself more and what his body can take and can't take in terms of hours upon hours of practice and traveling and everything else. But he's so cute, so smart, so clued up. So no, I've got my schedule sorted. I said, what, for the year? Yep, I know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, where I need to be and where I don't need to be. And I think, you know, that's such maturity for such a young man. But again, he's got good people around him that will give him good advice. He's mates with a lot of the players on tour, so they'll be saying to him, look, don't do this one, don't do that one. I mean, there's one on in Risa, isn't it? And it don't matter where you fly to, you've got a 2 or 3 hour journey, and that's what it's not the playing darts, and people do get it confused. It's the travelling. You well know, Laura, you've done enough of it like me, and that's what when you go on holiday, you're always tired when you get there and tired when you come home because of the travelling.
How many times do you say after you come back from holiday that you just need another holiday to get over the journey back? And yeah, I can't agree more with you really, Chris, because for me, so many players can learn off these top guys about how to manage their diaries. It's not just a case of, right, I've got to do everything. I know some players will think that, but you just get burnt out from travelling absolutely everywhere, living out of a suitcase. And it defeats the object then. You know, you want to play in everything, but you want to play in, you want to be at your best, and the only way you're going to be at your best, listen, Merv King plays in everything. You know, Brendan Dolan, what was that ridiculous record of Pro Tours on the spin? And listen, some people can do it, but for these top lads that are going deep in pretty much everything they play, they just don't have time to recover, because especially the Premier League boys. You know, they like last week, the ones that did go, they play this on the Thursday, fly out on the Friday, get there Friday night, and for some of them have to play Friday night, of course. It's tough. Yeah, I can't quite remember the exact schedule, but I know when it was around Brighton, then there was a flight to Belgium, and then prior to that they were in Leicester, and they'd come off the back of, say,
Pro Tours.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think last week it was Tuesday, it was Euro Tour, Tuesday, Wednesday Pro Tours, Thursday Premier League, Friday fly out to Risa. Well, that's just gonna, you know, you're not going to go there in top form physically. You're not going to be at it.
And I think Luke learnt that lesson quite quickly last year, because I remember him actually going out to, I think it was to one of the Euro Tours, and he just said he had no energy, nothing left to give. And
yeah, I seen him at one of the ones I did last year, and the same. I seen him upstairs in the players' lounge, and he was literally just out on his feet.
Action, we are coming to you live on Sky Sports, and this is the BetMGM Premier League. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first Newcastle semi-final. Time to welcome back the players. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of 2 European Championships, 5-time World Series winner. Ladies and gentlemen, a Premier League finalist and a winner of the World Match Play. He is the former champion of the world.
Make of Rob Cross's change of walk-on songs.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Listen, I like the record. Easy listening tune, but it's just not got that. You know, the walk-on music should take the roof off, shouldn't it?
PDC titles, a Grand Slam champion, the newly crowned UK Open champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the reigning and defending Premier League champion and the reigning champion of the world.
Tell a good walk-on. They all join in, don't they?
Yeah, crowd definitely getting into this one. First semi-final of 2025 in Newcastle. Luke Littler just enjoying himself, and it's just, for me, it's conducive of getting the best darts out of him.
Absolutely. Listen, I remember first hearing of Luke. I think he was 12 or 13 and won in the Isle of Man in the seniors event. And I was like, who is this kid? But when you understand what it takes to win titles, it's become a habit for him. It's normal, and he's been on stages all over the world, hasn't he? He was playing in all the WDF events and all of the JDC events. He was on big stages, of course, when ITV covered the darts down in Minehead for the World Youth events, and it's just second nature to him, and that allows him to play with such freedom. And like you say, he does it with a smile on his face.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Isle of Man tournament that you're talking about, I've actually got a video of him playing in the youth against my daughter, who would have been about 8 or 9 at the time. Yeah.
Unfair.
He was, absolutely, even then.
Well, these two locked horns many times, considering how young and new to the PDC side of the sport. Luke Littler and Rob Cross have met 13 times prior to this one. And the head-to-head reading is not good reading for Cross. 11-2 in favour of Luke Littler, and he's won 6 of the last 7. In fact, he's won the last 4, 3 of them in the Premier League this year, and Players' Championship finals in the back end of November last year, and it was a 6-0 win for Luke Littler. But he did beat him in the World Grand Prix.
But everyone says that doesn't count so much because it's a double star.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that tournament don't count.
Yeah. But surprisingly, halfway through, this is their 4th meeting of this campaign of the Premier League. This is their 3rd consecutive week as well. They're 6, 7,
must be sick of him. Must be sick of seeing him do this.
But I always, keep thinking back to that second week where Rob Cross had the 5-1 lead over Luke Littler, let it go, and we've seen a different version of Rob Cross since then.
Yes, yeah, very much so. He's got more of that stickability, more Aspinall about him.
I saw him pin that nice 9 dart in Brighton. Received the very nice looking golden darts tonight. They both got a set.
Yeah, presented. But it was a bit of a curse, wasn't it? Because he hit one and lost. Humphries then hit one and he lost. Got to be more. There's got to be more Littler about you, hasn't there? Yeah, I wonder if the sponsors regret that idea of a set of 30 grand darts for every 9. They might do by the end of it.
Absolutely. I mean,
there's going to be more.
It's already a record number in terms of 9 darters for a Premier League campaign, but I agree. I think there's a few players up there that want to get their hands on the same thing. It's not often that there's a carrot for 9 darters anymore.
No, because they're hit so often, but it's a wonderful keepsake, isn't it? It's lovely. I got a pat on the back from I wasn't in the Premier League, of course, but actually no, I think we used to get a pin. Yeah, it was like a 9-dart pin.
I think they still float them around.
Yes, they do. They must have bought tons of them.
Well, Littler chasing down double 18 over to double 9 for the first leg, and it's 3 darts missed at a double, and a real chance here for Rob Cross to take an early break. 103 required for the opener. 57 found, and that pause that we're so used to seeing from Rob Cross. And again, 10. Double 18 now the target for Cross, and misses by the width of a wire.
Yeah, it's his choice most of the time, that double 18. It's like it's on the end of his arm sometimes, a bit like this man on double 10. But it is Littler who holds after a little bit of a scare on the 103 out from Rob Cross. It is 1-0. How can Cross respond? Well, very nearly with a max, but dart 3 was with the shoulder and everything was in it.
But you can see that, can't you, from Rob Cross? He's got that kind of statics.
Right on the edge, isn't he?
You just wonder sometimes. It's like, hold it all together, Rob. Yeah, and a wild one, way above the treble 20 for Rob Cross, trying to track down a treble, finds 57, third dart of asking.
Yeah, it is a throw that does teeter. Back-to-back 140s for Littler, really putting the pressure on Rob Cross now on the Rob Cross throw. Yeah, cold hands, you're just seeing him blowing his hands there, Littler. I mean, it is a massive building, isn't it? It's always a little bit colder up north.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Littler on 2-2-1, Cross on 1-4-3, so he will come back, but there will be pressure as Littler finds 135 to leave himself on 86. 1-4-3 here. Cross single 18. We saw this in the opening match, just making a real mess of trying to kind of set up.
Yeah. Treble 18's found. Oh, double 16, it's a blocker. He's going to have to move. Doesn't move. Try to force one through. So Cross with an opportunity at 88 to hold and level it up at 1-1. Don't forget, Humphries against Aspinall to come in our second semi-final. He wants the ball for 1-1.
Again, it's a narrow miss.
I wonder if Littler go 12 double 10.
Again, it might be awkward. Two on the outside, but does chase down double 16 with the third dart. Littler moves into it, a 2-0 lead. And this is the one thing I think you can't afford to do against Luke Littler, is let him start running away with it.
No, because he will run riot. We've seen it from him in the past. We've seen it tonight in the opening game. He bageled Bunting. Only a 60. Quite caught fire yet, this one. He's missed doubles so far. And to be honest, when you assess a game like this, if you can't beat Littler when he starts like this, you need to be 2-0 up.
I agree. I mean, they've actually played over the last 2 years in the 2 Premier League campaigns. They've played 8 times. Cross has won one of them, but it was this kind of game that Cross managed to win.
Well, he's just marginally off the boil. You've got to then jump on him and put him under it.
140 there from Cross, puts him on 303. Littler on 301, but finds a 140 and is first to a finish. 161 for Littler when he returns. Yeah,
Cross is going to have to start on 19s here. Be looking at 7 of them to leave 170. That'll be minimum. He's got 4, a treble and a single. Only 95, so 6 for Littler at 161, and to be halfway there, 3-0. That'll be 9 legs on the spin.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, Littler opting from 81 to go treble 17 to leave that double 15 target we saw him pin for the 9 last week in the final. Double 15 for 3-0, double 15 found no problem. I'm not sure now, I think double 15's becoming a favourite over double 10.
Yeah, well that's how he hit the 9, wasn't it? I've seen it before from him on shots like that caught me out a few times down at the Super Series on 81, 51, and I'm always miscounting double 15. Thing is, if you look at players that love tops, they don't mind double 5, and I think for him it's literally just a small adjustment from double 10, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a max to start off the 4th leg. Rob Cross really up against it. Only manages 80 points. Rob Cross, after 6 darts, is behind Littler, and Littler's back in again.
Oh, there's a deflection, 120 floor. Oh, yeah, caught the flight and then skewed off, and just didn't have the energy to penetrate the board. Cross throws in his first max. 201 Littler, only 57, down to 144. Cross 181 at the hockey. But a big hole in this. He should hold throw, and he's found 80 with his first two. Ton was minimum, wasn't it, Laura?
Yeah, I agree. And if Littler can convert this 144, it will hurt. Finds the first treble 20, narrowly misses the second, and
he was furious,
wasn't he? I was going to say, there's a real grimace on the face of the Nuke. He's demanding perfection from himself.
Well, Cross might have to be perfect here. Needs double 13. One dart in hand for 3-1. Gets it. Holds throw. Gets his first chalk on the board, and that was important for him. That effectively, for me, keeps him in the game. How long for? I'm not sure. But he drops that leg, and 4-0 down. It's pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah, and it just stops that little run that Littler's been on. I say little run, it's his 9th consecutive leg, so it just stops that kind of winning streak.
And last Thursday.
Oh, God, I didn't even bring that one into play, absolutely. He probably hasn't picked up a dart since last Thursday.
I bet he hasn't. It'd have been all PlayStation or whatever it is he has. Xbox, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Sorry.
Come on now.
I don't have one, so I've never had one. I've only just about learned how to use a laptop.
But already Littler with the initiative here in the 5th leg. 2 in. Has to settle for a 140, and he looks again annoyed that the 3rd one's not there.
Well, for him, the way the first 2 darts are in it, it's harder for him to miss than hit, because it was just perfect. Good cover from Cross, picking up 2 treble 19. So Littler 1-2-1 for 4-1. Single 20s found. Doesn't get the 51 to leave the ball, so 84 left. He went for treble 18 to leave double 15.
I was looking at it this time. I thought he's just avoiding, anything anywhere else on the board. I mean, he's one of the only players I know that really brings treble 7 into play to pick it out to leave tops.
Yes, that's very much a modern thing, like using the treble 9 on 67, isn't it? It's kind of shots that I certainly never would have even thought of back in the day, as Littler pins tops with 1 dart in hand to lead 4-1. He's now 2 away.
Yeah, averages as well all round. It was around about 103.5 for Littler in this match. And Rob Cross,
it doesn't look it though, does it?
It doesn't, but again, it just makes it look effortless. And Rob Cross isn't far behind. He's averaging around the 97 mark.
Just feels, sort of sat here commentating on it, that Cross more often than not feels like a throw behind.
Yeah, and I imagine over the years we're going to be saying that quite often when Littler's up on the stage.
Although, good leg on throw from Cross here, back-to-back 140s. Littler started with 58, but he's putting a hole in that with another max. Down to 263, so Cross on throw, 42 in front, plus these, and he finds a treble 20. And again, can he fill it? He did it the last time Littler hit a max.
2 180s apiece, but Cross looking comfortable in this leg. Back comes Littler though. There's pressure on this 41. It's a maximum from Littler to leave it on 83 if Cross can't convert the 41.
Single 9 leaves double 16 to close the gap to 2. Ooh, just on the inside wire. Double 8 needed. Oh dear. That could be the beginning of the end. 83 for Littler. Doesn't get the treble 15, gets the single 16. Can he find the ball?
No, just in the 25 section, so more chances here. He's missed a couple of darts to bring it within 2. Double 8, and double 8 is pinned. It's 4-2 in favour of Littler. Cross still hanging on in there.
Just about by his fingernails, that's what it feels like. I expect Littler here just to put on a bit of a blitz, and he's, well, 2 single 20s and a treble 3 going for the 57, but it was bang in the middle of treble 3. It's nowhere near either side of the treble.
Yeah, but Rob Cross just cannot make the most of it. Just the 60 scored for Cross.
Yeah, last 180 from Littler is his 100th of this campaign, and we are not even halfway through. I wonder what the record is for a Premier League campaign.
That would be interesting, because I reckon, looking at where the rest of the field are in terms of...
I reckon it could be around 100.
Yeah, quite possibly.
If you think of Humphries on 44, so if you know, we play the second half of the Premier League and add a few to it, it'd be around 100, wouldn't it? And that would be an entire campaign.
We've said this is a real chance here. Luke Littler's thrown 9 darts, only down to 320. Cross desperately needs to search out a treble, and he can't find one himself.
Yeah, 181 in 9 darts for Littler, and Cross isn't in front, having thrown 9 darts himself. There has been opportunities in this one for me. Now he hits a 140, and that opportunity may be erased.
And you will get this, I think, against players like Littler. I wouldn't have imagined Cross to do it, but when you get those chances, you're so desperate to take them because they're few and far between that you can over-try.
Yeah, and that's, in this sport, as you know, Laura, that's the one thing you can't do, because it's counterproductive trying in darts.
I know.
It is.
I know.
When you try to explain it to people that haven't played, they go, "What do you mean you don't try?" So, no, don't try. It's counterproductive.
It's like you try, but you don't.
No.
I can't explain it.
You mentally try, but you can't physically try.
Well, it's 80 here for Littler. Single 20, finds tops for double 10.
Of course.
I think he did that on purpose, you know.
Well, I said down at the Super Series, one day he came in wearing his dad's dart shirt and played with his dad's darts. And they were akin to a Phil Taylor type dart, so nothing like the darts he uses. And he was stacking them and just grinning to himself throughout the entire match. It was brilliant fun.
He's definitely a phenomenon, and he's definitely got Cross on the ropes here. It's 5-2 in favour of Luke Littler. Not much to separate them in this leg. And Rob Cross finds a ton just to pull slightly ahead. Single 20 for Littler, backs up with another single, can't find a treble himself, and this is the time now. Cross needs to pounce.
Yeah, it just feels like a leg that Luke's trying to just get over the line and get it done and get off, and again that can sometimes create issues of its own, and it looks like he's going to be forced into doing it in leg 9.
Treble 20, single 20. And he'll be disappointed with that, because when you kick off with a treble 20, especially the way that Luke's land, he would have wanted more from it, has to settle for a ton. Cross finds the 140, he knows he'll be back. 76 plays 286. Littler way off the mark, and you don't see that too often.
No, it's almost like he's taking a leg off just to get it done on throw in the next. Had he won this leg, of course, it would have been a bonus, but he's not too concerned. Again, fabulous support on our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in, and of course on our talkSPORT 2 platform. When we get to, make sure you subscribe, because when we get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm personally going to do a giveaway. Some kind of signed thing, not by me. Get something signed by Littler for you, and one lucky winner will get the opportunity, and I'll deliver it anywhere in the world. And I'll hand deliver it if it's anywhere inside Ilkeston.
Nice and local. Cross starting to make a little bit of a hash of that last leg, but did manage to sort out 35. 5-3, but it's Littler kicked off this leg with a max. And there's just this level of anticipation or expectation now. Kicks off with a max, we expect to see more.
Yeah, absolutely. He starts with a max, and you go, right, come on then, hit another. Oh, I can't believe he didn't hit a 9. That's a compliment though, Laura, isn't it?
Oh no, absolutely.
57.
And he's really piling on this pressure onto Rob Cross.
Thank you to all those that you were saying you're subscribed, but there's still about 900 people watching that haven't subscribed. I don't know why they don't subscribe.
It's not on.
Hit that button. Like I say, when we get to 10,000 subscribers, at whatever point that is, the next time on air we'll run a little competition, and it'll be your chance. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get a signed Luke Littler t-shirt.
It's 2 in, ball for the match for Littler.
Wow!
Yeah.
That literally shook the ball wire.
I promise you, you couldn't get much closer with that.
No.
Without being in, and he's going to have more chances. Cross can't find the 164. Littler back for 25. 5 is the route taken. Double 10 is found, and it is a 6-3 victory for Luke Littler over Bob Cross. It wasn't a classic by any means, but it was a comfortable win in the end for Luke Littler, averaging just around the 98 mark, which I'm sure he'll be more than happy with.
Boy, we know we jinxed it, didn't we? We went up at all them 100 averages, so we put the jinx on that. But yeah, it was. Listen, it was too easy for him. He wasn't pushed. Although Bunting got done 6-0, he averaged 102, and he did enough just to give him that push that you need to sort of get him energised. It was a brilliant performance, but it just felt a bit flat because he didn't have to do too much. But well, yet another final for him. Who will he play? Well, we haven't got long to find out, but it will be one of either Luke Humphries or Nathan Aspinall. That's coming up next.
When it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. Among the fastest VPNs available on the market, NordVPN gives you a quick location change when you need it most. Go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. And we'll be back very shortly on our YouTube platform to see Humphries take on Aspinall.